6:31. Yay. And roll call. I see all three of us are here. Nancy Alyanek, Steve Workman, and Michael Wadsworth. And the next thing is adoption of the agenda. Does anybody want to do something else with it or adopt as is?
I move to adopt as is.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay,
Make it by acclamation. And there's fourth item is approved minutes from November 6th and November 8th of 2021. So is there a motion to approve those minutes? Didn't I thought I sent those to you with the agenda.
It wasn't on the agenda. I do see, it looks like we got them back in November 13th.
I downloaded the agenda and printed it.
November 6th and November 8th.
Am I just not having, am I having a technical difficulty? Is that what's going on? Oh, there we go. Okay, I see it now. I see it now.
Okay.
My mistake.
Okay. By acclamation? Is there any objections?
Give me just a moment. I would just want to double check, read through it. I'm almost done.
Okay.
I apologize.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I'm just verifying the certification note. Yep, nope, looks good.
Good to me.
Beg pardon, Michael?
Yes, okay.
Okay. And since I wrote them, I'm going to say, okay, by acclamation. Item 5, current vacancies. I haven't even heard a nibble. Not one little question about an NNE vacancy and what fun it would be to join us, though apparently Lori didn't think so. So any ideas, people?
How many vacancies do we have?
2.
Okay, 2 vacancies.
I mean, we've posted in the views about the vacancies, or you've at least written a letter. I saw that. And we've gotten no nibbles from that. We brought it up at meetings, nothing from there. Part of me kind of wonders if maybe the, atmosphere in Sudden Valley is what's discouraging people from running for stuff. And even though it's not running, it's just a, hey, I'm interested, you can join.
The problem is we make all this look like work.
What atmosphere?
As all of us are aware, there's and it's not, I'm not saying the NNE committee. I'm not talking about our atmosphere. I'm talking about the political atmosphere within Sudden Valley, which you can easily see on, Nextdoor, Facebook, pick a social media platform, and there are people at each other's throats because of things not being run the way they want it, or things are being run they want it, but not the right way, or half a dozen other things. And with that, people pull out the claws and the teeth and attack because they don't realize there's a person on the other end of the keyboard.
I don't read any of that crap, so I didn't know that was going on. I thought things were fine out here. I do know that I guess I shouldn't say I don't read any of it. I glance at what is, I glance, I can't read it. I get lost in the strings sometimes, but I don't pay much attention to it. I think we could, if there was a way, this has nothing to do with NNE, but if we had a way of stop bringing up the past and throwing it out there for people to chew on again, it might be good, but that's someone else's problem and not mine. I guess, I don't know, as to getting people to come onto the NNE committee is the only thing that we really can work on here, is I suppose we have friends and neighbors that we could ask or talk to and say, hey, would you, there's 2 openings on the N&E committee. Would you like to set in and just do it for the year?
And I'm not opposed to that, but my personal hesitation there is, as it currently stands, and again, this was happenstance. I didn't know Nancy was running. She didn't know I was running, but we're neighbors. And if we go to another neighbor, that'll be 3 people on the committee that are literally right next to each other. And that doesn't feel quite right to me.
You could move.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm kidding.
know.
I
You
didn't
don't
know,
like it?
I
Move.
didn't know that you lived that close together.
She's right there.
Well,
Yeah, we can literally look out the window.
wow. That could look kind of fishy, wouldn't it? Have 4 people in one block on the committee. Well, I'm over here in gate 13, so I don't think anybody over here is involved. I can ask some people that I know that I think would be valuable input. I have a couple of really good neighbors. I don't know if they would do it. One of them's a retired school teacher, and at least get one more. There'll be 4 of us.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
We can't pay any people to be on it, so that's out.
I have a scheme for later.
Blackmail's illegal.
We'll talk about it later. I've given it some thought. It's controversial, but those are the best kind.
So we have 2 vacancies. Okay.
Yep. And I mean, there are a couple people I can try and talk to. As I said, I don't feel appropriate, again, because of the cluster, but there are people that I know further out that are in the valley that I'm happy to reach out to. But, they've got little ones at home, and I'm not sure they're going to be available. But if I don't ask, the answer is no. So
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And Kanu just had a baby, and she's on the board 3 days after her first board, or 3 days before her first board meeting. She had her first baby.
Who's that?
Kanu Sharma, new board member.
I don't know her. That's the new lady that's on the board. Okay, I don't know her.
That's tough.
Yeah, trooper.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, we can go on to discuss 2022 committee roles.
What if, could we, do you think it would do any good to write a letter and put it in the View? Like,
we've done that.
I've put articles in, they're not really letters.
I mean, more of like, I was thinking maybe I don't know how, if I'm liked at all outside my own little circle. But of how, it was, what the experience was like is that I never had been on this committee or a committee period. And I, in fear and in trepidation, came in and sat through it and saw how the process went. It was very rewarding, and all, it was a little disheartening putting in all the work we did and then having the board kind of throw all our work to the side. It was, I have another word for it, but disheartening is as nice as I'm going to get. And I hope we can fix that this year somehow.
I hope so too.
Because it's all just there. There's no work to do now. It's just a matter of here. This is what you asked for. Let's get it done. But anyhow, that's probably farther down here in our stuff. But yeah, I'll write. Maybe I'll just sit down and write a letter to the board and say, look, this is I'm on the N&E committee, and this was my experience, and it's not bad. It's a good way to be a part of your community and get off your butt and do something. Sharing the responsibility of your neighborhood. I'll be nicer than that, but
That was very nice, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go on to discuss committee roles? Because I'm kind of headhunting for a secretary, but if, I will say if both of you are opposed, I will do it.
I mean, I can give it a try. I'm very hesitant to go for it, but I'm happy to give it a try as long as, yeah, I'll give it a go.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right.
I just need to know what that entails in its entirety, but
Writing minutes is really what it entails.
Yeah,
Okay.
just basically, I'm a secretary for a group out here, and it's just basically, it's nice just for you because it's recorded. I have to write mine down because we don't record our meeting.
So,
We do
like-
it.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I interrupted.
No, it's okay.
How involved do the notes need to be? Like, are we going into the minutia of what was discussed, or just like, hey, we're going to try and poll the public to see if we can get more people to join the committee? And Steve Workman is now secretary.
And Michael's going to write a letter, maybe, or something like that.
There you go.
Cool.
So, yeah, I got really into the weeds on one of those minutes that I wrote when we were editing the manual, and that was a mistake. I will never put in that kind of detail because they are recorded. And if somebody wants that kind of detail, they can go back and listen to it.
That's just general highlights.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is discuss the 2022 AGM voting method. And I'm going to make a motion to get Unilect back.
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion?
I'm trying to catch up. Sorry.
Okay,
Since I'm now
well,
taking notes.
it was my motion, so I'll say, God, I'd hate to live without them. For one thing, you need a master counter, and there's nobody here who can do that, including me. It is just something I guess you've had to have been through a couple of times. And besides, there's no argument really with Unilect doing that.
No.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like, it was 100% worth it, every penny of it, and there's just no hassle. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Their bill was about $13,000, and it's worth every penny to not have people arguing about the results
For 11 months.
for 11 months.
Or longer.
That's true. There's still some arguments
Yeah,
going
they're
on
still
over
arguing
there.
for about 4 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, I would second that. It was very well done. It was very professional. I think it'll be easier this year with the personnel that we have right now. Bless Linda with and all, and she did a great job, but I think she made things take longer than they needed to sometimes. But I think we can do it much smooth if we, it can be done a lot smoother and all. So
okay, can I say by acclamation, Unilect, and I will go ahead and recommend it to the board. And I guess I have to ask for money or maybe get an estimate from them because the price of postage is.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and see what I can do, see what I need to do for that. And we'll have Unilect again. Yay. Okay, 8, discuss 2022 committee goals.
So with this, I definitely want to try and see if we can get that manual updated this year.
Yes.
What are we gonna call, what are we calling that process? Getting the voting manual completed, which I thought we already did, getting it accepted?
Both of them, because I don't know that we put the proxy stuff in it. That was kind of
Yeah,
just
I
an
don't know. That was a
added.
twist at the end, wasn't it? Okay,
So
We
update
need,
update the entity manual through board approval.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. We'll need to include proxy, and I really want to get some of the proxy policies in there, like the proxy has to be a member. Because right now it's just a board recommendation, and the next board can change it. If it's in the N&E manual, it takes N&E plus the board changing it.
okay,
And I really like the idea of the proxy has to be a member. In fact, Rich Davis suggested that.
good, okay.
And there are a few other things that I'll remember later. The other thing I want to do is change our application form so that we ask the person to put down a name twice. Once is, how are you listed on the deed? And the other is, what name do you want to use as your candidate name and how in the valley? Because that will take care of people who, bought a house when they weren't a married couple and then got married and had kids. And one of them changed their name. So
Mhm.
there'd be one less name.
Yeah,
And I think that's a fair thing to do.
Okay. Any other changes?
Yeah, I had
I figure I'm just throwing bullet points in here real quick as to what we're going to discuss later, because we're not discussing this now. We're just talking about what we're going to discuss at a future time.
Right. That board application for the vacancy, there are no rules. We can do whatever we want to do. So I was thinking a $50 application fee to go to an N&E beer fund. I mean, what do y'all think? No.
I'm personally against it, but I mean, we could put that in there to try and get interest and, discuss it at a future time, since we're not making those.
An entity, a $50 fee for what?
For a board vacancy application.
And the
There
money,
are no rules. That's why it needed to be in the N&E manual.
the money
It's
would go where?
whatever the committee of that year wants to do. And we needed some rules to go with those board applications for vacancies. You can't just leave it up to somebody with wild ideas about what they want to do, because you never know what they'll do. Except in my case, I'm not really going to do that.
Yeah. Well, we could, we could discuss all that.
Okay.
It is kind of I have filled it out. Well, I actually twice, I put my name in for a board position twice. And it's a weird questionnaire. It's just like an off the wall kind of thing. Like, what are they asking me about, Yeah, I was really perplexed by it. It took me a while to figure out what to put on it. And an average homeowner is going to look at it and go, "Oh, what are they like? What do they want to know?" I mean, I had to actually call somebody and ask them, "What'd you put on your thing?" So that would be that's a good topic. It might
Okay.
invite more people to want to be on the board rather than intimidate them to not.
Okay. Anybody else have something to add for committee goals for 2022 in our discussion?
I mean, I definitely want to bring up languages again. That's something that never really got any traction last year. And I know that there was talk about how one of the committees was going to try and get alternative languages up on the website. And that could solve the problem completely. But, trying to move forward with that.
Okay. That's 3 topics. Any others for Steve's list?
Those were the 2 that I had.
I really want to get that manual done.
Yeah, I think that's
We came
the
so
key.
close.
Yeah, well, we just have to go back and say that, what they said they wanted at the end was they wanted to see it written. I just redid all the bylaws for another group I'm in. We sat down, got a group together, we redid the bylaws. We all read them, we added in what we wanted, and when we presented it, we left it written as it was, but then we put the changes in red ink right next in line with it, and then had it parenthesed so that they knew that they're reading. This is what the bylaws say, and if we change it, it's going to say what it says in the red. And just take that line out and put that line in. And everybody said, well, that's a great way to do it because you can see it side by side, and bam, okay, and it's done. We all agreed it's a great thing. So.
And if we had realized that the board wanted that before we started the process, that would have been a piece of cake to do.
Yeah, I think if the board would have known what they wanted before they
But
asked for it, they might have gotten it done quicker too. So
at this point, we do have the changes all documented. I'm assuming is John, are you now our staff member?
I don't know if there's anything official. Traditionally it had been whoever was the ASM. So that it had been Lisa, and then I think it was going to be Rachel. But not sure if she ever became a regular or not. Yeah, I am until you find a replacement.
The reason why I'm
what's an
asking is,
ASM?
Oh, the Administrative Services Manager.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, when I first came to Sudden Valley, it was Lisa Armstrong.
And I know Lisa's gone. Rachel's gone now too.
Rachel's she's still working for us, but in a limited capacity. So she just kind of handles very HR specific stuff.
I see.
because I know when we were doing the documentation before, Rachel created all of them on the Sudden Valley Google Drive. So in theory, the original and our document are up there. So I don't know if there's an easy way to do a compare between them, but I know we did a lot of formatting changes too. So that could be
numbering.
Yeah, I can try to find that that document, but yeah, I'm not personally familiar with it. I'll check with Rachel if I can't track it down.
Thank you.
No. I know all that is still up on the Google Drive because I logged in this afternoon and saw it all there.
Cool. So, I mean, if
So-
we might just need to get the original NNE manual uploaded again, so then we can do the comparison on Google to itself.
So all the stuff I have that is in my little folder of Google Docs and all that from last year isn't any good.
No, it should all be perfectly fine. I haven't looked, and Nancy just said that she saw it, so that means it's all still there.
Yeah, I saw everything I thought we worked on. I don't remember seeing the original, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there, you know?
Well, I know we changed the original into our document, so that's why, because I didn't have the original anymore to do the original comparison to. But the document should still exist somewhere in the Sudden Valley network. Air quotes. I'm not trying to, point the finger at John because he doesn't deserve that at all. But
Well, I've got a PDF. I
okay.
don't have the Word document.
Yeah, I mean, we might be able to convert that to a Word document, and then, I mean, again, the formatting is going to be ugly as all get out, but we might be able to get that comparison the board might want.
Let me rummage, or actually talk to Linda and see, or email Linda and see if she has it.
Okay.
Has it as a Word document.
So
Okay,
Our discussion points for 8 were get the bylaw manual completed and approved, including proxies. The second thing was change the application form for N and E.
And for the board application.
And the number 3 was board application changes.
Oh,
And number 4 was languages. That's why I wrote it down anyway.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
did the board and the
Okay.
fee and the other thing all as application.
All right.
As some point.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else, folks? Do we want to start on this at our next meeting, or all have looked kind of what's going on the N&E manual on the drive by February 28th?
Is that our next meeting, February 28th?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff in my Sudden Valley N&E folder. I can look through and see what all I have in it. And if you guys could do the same, maybe follow up with Linda and Rachel. Somehow.
Okay. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Not
A
really.
motion to adjourn then?
Second?
Sure, second, third it.
The board still holds the record, the 5-hour record. We're not
we-
going to challenge it.
Do I need to write down the official adjournment time?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so
got
6:58.
whatever's